Okay, I'm back. Here we are. It's day 11, but I want to acknowledge you for hanging in there, right? We are embarking on an empowering journey. And I just want to say thank you again for joining me in this exploration around sobriety, cultivating emotional well being, and embracing holistic health so that you and everybody else can experience a year of strength, growth, and vibrant living. I again appreciate you so much. And in fact, I thought I'd be done recording for today, and I just was too moved to stop where we left off yesterday. And I wanted to jump in and lean in here to day 11 and talk about that secret way to know what drive you operate from and how to identify where you are operating at any moment, right? It is so critical, and it's so difficult to know, am I emotionally charged? Am I being externally derailed? Am I operating from a true space of intuitive internal knowing about what's going to be right for me? And it is, again, so confusing. And you are not alone if you are struggling in this space. So many people seeking guidance come with interpersonal problems that they just don't understand how to navigate through in a healthy way. These problems seriously can be with parents, friends, spouses, children, work, etc. You name it. It could be just the road rage, the driving the car down the freeway. Anyway, the belief is that everyone but themselves has taken just sucks that power to define their world. And now they're dissatisfied. They feel angry, frustrated, victimized, and out of control. Right? Especially when it's work, if we're unhappy with our career, if our marriage is strained, if we have a house full of adolescent children, believe me, I get it. There's so much energy charging our environments. So we need to ask ourselves this: who or what is controlling my life? And I would venture to say that you could even break that down into further categories. Who or what is controlling my professional life? Who or what is controlling my home life? Who or what is controlling my social life? And so on and so forth. Then ask yourself, are these controlling factors within your, or are they outside of your control? Right? They inside of you, are they within you, or are they outside of you? Now I want to introduce you to something that is probably one of the biggest lessons that we lean into throughout my work with a client, whether they're with me for 12 weeks, 6 months, 9 months, or a year. We rely on this concept. And it's called the locus of control theory. It was created by Julian Rotter. But here's the concept in short. Okay. As children, we are all born in the external position, right? We rely on another for our care. But as we grow and we mature, we naturally move toward the internal control position through our parents' nurturing and guidance to assume responsibility for our choices and consequences. So that looks like learning how to pull up our own pants, put on and tie our own shoes, make our own sandwich, whatever it might be. We no longer have to cry to have our diaper changed or to receive a bottle, etc. Right? However, when adults remain mostly in that external control position, they feel used and angry. They feel like they are not in control of their own destiny. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit deeper look into this, okay? As we're growing up and as we're learning to pull up our own pants and take our first steps and tie our own shoes, our parents, I was guilty of this, didn't know to teach us how not to need external things. So when we fall down and scrape our knee, right, we're given a popsicle while it's getting cleaned up. That's an external reward, an external something to soothe us instead of learning how to soothe ourselves. When we're in school, we get the gold star, the award, the whatever, instead of internally being proud of ourselves for our own accomplishments. Anyway, you get the idea. Now, this follows us through life. And so when we're not getting that recognition, when we don't feel like we're being heard or seen or valued or validated, right, we get upset, irritated, agitated, annoyed. We feel angry. We feel used. We feel underappreciated. We feel like a doormat. My list could go on and on. So we also feel responsible for other people's irresponsibility. Excuse me. Often we blame others for what's not right in our life. And we feel victimized. And this continues to perpetuate the dysfunctional environment where no one wow, I am so sorry, where no one is in charge of themselves. But everybody feels obliged to control others. So your challenge is to recognize what is happening and move toward the more functional. To become your own CEO. Set and maintain reasonable limitations with yourselves and others, thus assuming responsibility for your own destiny. You can allow others to influence your decisions, but then choose the decision that makes the most sense to you, for you, in your life. So that was a lot of information. That was a lot of things to think about. That was a lot of things to observe, to reflect upon through your own personal conditioning process through your life. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about it and listen to this more than once if you need to. Again, thinking about different categories of your life. We have 8 categories that create our life balance with 6 subcategories that create our whole health. You've got lots of ammunition that I've given you so far. So I need you to know all of these things so that tomorrow, when I give you the ability to create your own filtrating boundary system, and boundaries is something different than you've ever heard before in my practice. So when I'm going to give you this filtration system to help you keep things out that don't belong in, but also to be mindful of what you send out and how to protect yourself emotionally and physically in your environments. So it's really important that you take a look at how much you rely on that is outside of you. Again, what are you relying on outside of you? People, places, and things, alcohol, food, shopping, coworkers, friends, spouses, children. Who's defining your life? What is creating your purpose? I know for me, I thought my purpose was to be a mother and a wife. And when that moved away, I thought the wife part, but when the parenting part moved away, it was real tough. Anyway, we'll talk more tomorrow.